Hey there, Degs here with Izzet Polymorph and Modern. We have pretty decent opener. We are missing a talisman for ramp to be able to turn 3. However, we have a bauble, so even though we're on the play, we don't get to draw turn 1. This will give us a second card draw on turn 2. So it's kind of like drawing on turn 1. Skew the critics with a... Oh, we are not supposed to have played that. We were supposed to play a Colony Garden. That was bad. Misclick. If we draw a talisman, alright. We still have one more look at a talisman. Monastery. He thinks that we are on Infect, running baubles. We didn't draw the talisman. We played a green land, so he probably thinks we're still Infect. He's just like, why would you play a plant token? It's like, well... Oh, it's an enchantment. Ugh. A Swan Song would have been able to counter that. But giving them a 2-2 isn't much better. Seeing if we had had the talisman on 2, we could have countered that, and we'd be able to play a turn 3 Transmogrify. Now, and oh man, I'd love to counter something, but it gives them... The Swan Song's really rough against mono red. The only time it's good is like the turn before you can kill them with an Emrakul and they're trying to like Boros-Charm your face, and you're like, no Swan Song. And even though you're getting a 2-2, you're just dead from an Emrakul. Like, and then you don't get punished for it. If you're giving them a Swan Song token on turn 1 or 2, and then they hit you with it for the next 3 turns, that's 6 damage. You basically said, here, I'll start the game at 14. So, we are only at 18, taking 3 until he puts some spells on the stack for the prowess. Come on, Tuss. Ooh, thank goodness. But now we're in a position where he's leaving up all 3 mana. He's just going to bolt the plant token. God, I wish he would tap out. Please tap out. Lavamancer, that's fine. Wonder if he's going to cast the other 2 cards in his hand. Or use his other 2 mana. Yes! So good. Okay, so we might be able to steal this matchup. He has 3 cards left in his hand. We do have to shock ourselves down to 13. Not happy about that. However, unless he has exactly Gut Shot. What's cool is this Transmogrify gets around the double Eidolon. Yes. Emrakul. So if he plays any spell, he'll go below 15, and then he's dead to 1 hit from Emrakul. So he has to kill us this turn. He's tapping the Lavamancer. Yeah, we're going to go with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Puts us at 8. Yep. Begin sideboarding. Because that left both Eidolons in play, which meant he would take a bunch of damage just from playing 1 spell, let alone multiple. So, for burn, the Swan Songs can be good. They're just not great. Mishra's Bauble for Dispel. Cloud Form's going to be really good. The only other thing would be like Void Snares. Kind of good. But as you saw, Eidolons, it would take us, we would take 2 damage from Void Snaring it, and then he just recasts it, so it's like, And it's not an instant, it's a sorcery. I think Dispel is just our best bet. And we left in the Swan Songs, they'll also be able to stop things like I mentioned, like a Boros-Charm to the base. I'd rather give him a 2-2 bird and force him to spend multiple turns attacking with it to get that 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, double Talisman, Polymorph, Dispel. So we get Dispel starting on turn 2 off a Talisman. We'll have to shock ourselves for that. We could have a turn 4 Polymorph without the plant token on turn 1. It's because we just don't have it. We'll probably draw a Colony Garden between now and turn 4. This is a legit turn 4 polymorph. It's just a matter of, are they going to be fast enough being on the play? It's really easy to get a turn 4 polymorph. I think it's worth mulliganing down to at least 5 to see if we can get a turn 3 Emrakul. Because here we've got another double Swan Song. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Exactly. That's what we were looking for. So we need to keep 1, 2, 3 lands, a Talisman, and a Polymorph, and nothing else. So that means a double Dispel, out of here, done. Alright, mull to 5, we got the turn 3 Emrakul. We just need the opponent to let our plant token survive. We have the Blink Moth in case something goes wrong. Reveal a land. Nope, Spell Pierce. Well, that's still good for us. Plant token, say go. We won that last one off the back of Emrakul, so let's see if our opponent is heads up enough to kill the plant token now. Land? Yep. 1 land and a Protea Staff. So now we don't have to shock ourselves with Steam Vents. Rift Bolt. And that's any target, so he would probably hit the plant token. I have no problem using a Spell Pierce to protect the plant token from the Rift Bolt. But if he Rift Bolts our face, maybe we still counter it. Because if we get low enough to where even if we put an Emrakul in play, they could just attack around us and kill us. He's going for the face. That puts us at 11. Attacks for 4. That puts us at 7. We make an Emrakul next turn. He attacks around it and gets 2. We go from 7 to 5. And then if he only has 2 cards left in hand. Like, if he's going to the face, I think we let it through. Oh, and now he gets a draw step. He's at 3. One of them was a land. He's leaving up all 3 lands. That's brutal. Shivan Reef. Swan Song. No blocks. Down to 7. Basically dead to double bolt and one of these 2 getting through. Lava Spike my face. That's when I would start. I would take 1, go to 6. I'm dead to double bolt. If he wants to pay 2 to have this Lava Spike go through, oof, we would go to 3. Hits us with one of these, we go to 1. Heads up, he has 1 card left, and he chose not to pay the Spell Pierce, which is very interesting. Go for an Emrakul. Could have killed plant token at any time. So now he's got attack with double Goblin Guide. One of them gets through, takes us to 4. And then Boros Charm to the face is lethal. It's a numbers game. And then we had, if he doesn't put, yep. Woo! That was a sweat. That was rough. Numbers game. Numbers game. It's really tough to beat mono red just because they have access to multiple bolt effects and it's so easy for them to kill your plant token even before you put the polymorph on the stack. And I don't know what he was thinking, man. He did not respect the combo. He had Rift Bolt and Lava Spike that game, and he had 1 card left in hand. It must have been a land or something. Man, he just did not respect the combo. Oh well. It's kind of hard to make a video where you beat mono red. I don't really want to brag about that. I definitely feel like that was a combination of our opponent running out of gas. He almost assuredly had land in hand. We're just dead to Boros Charm and swing for 4. And not respecting the combo, being unfamiliar with it. This player probably plays Burn every time they log in. They might have a few other decks, but it's one of those things where the first deck they invested in on MTGO was Burn because it makes sense and you can grind with it, maybe win some events, get some in-game currency back. I don't know. Just inexperience with the archetype that we are playing, this combo deck that relies heavily on polymorph and plant tokens and lands. Mono red doesn't really play land destruction other than, you know, like in the form of Ghost Quarter and Field of Ruin. I don't typically see red decks using those lands because they want red and some white. They don't want colorless lands. They could be playing Pillage and Cleansing Fire and some of the other land destruction spells out of the sideboard, but they typically don't play, you know, Field of Ruin and Ghost Quarter in the main because they have situations where they have 3 cards left. It's all bolts, Lava Spike, Rift Bolt effects, and they're just like bolt, bolt, bolt. And if one of those is a Field of Ruin, well, then that bolt doesn't get cast until next turn when one of these other lands untaps. So I point that out because we had a Blink Moth Nexus, and that could have been the thing that we activated to make an Emrakul, and they don't even have the ability to interact with us in that sense. So the only way he could have interacted with us is with his bolt effects, and for some reason he just threw them at our face. He figured there's no point in letting you have your combo if you're just dead. And we did have a Spell Pierce on one of those things that was going to the face. And he could have paid the 2 to make it go through, and we would have been at 3. And then he gets a draw step, and if he draws one more bolt, then we're just dead. So that was poorly played on his end. He conceded early. He didn't pay for the Spell Pierce. I feel bad. If anything, we go to a game 3. So I feel like I kind of bullied him out of the gym with that one. Played a little bully ball. He didn't like that. But hey, you know, inexperienced pilot, inexperienced player. They got rattled. And we got the win. I'll take it. Make sure to +1 the deck here on Tapped Out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.